Be three tips that you have for somebody in your industry, Brian?
Hello, this is Success. How may I help you?
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jordan Harris here, aka Devonte Styles. Today I'm going to talk about the top 3 secrets to success in the coaching field. I'm breaking down an interview on my podcast that I did with Brian Bajan, leader of the Fearless Men. So, without further ado, let's get started with tip number 1.
The first one is there's a really good book by a man named Jeff Olson, who I really respect, really grounded, solid man. It's called Slight Edge. He was known as the Millionaire Maker. And for somebody who's just starting in business, I always recommend they read that book. And the reason I recommend they read it is it's all about compounding interest in life, not just in money, but how we use consistency to create everything in life. And that book breaks it down like no other book I've ever seen. It's so insightful. I've had teachers out there that say, "Oh, go for the quantum leap. You can have it yet today." And this guy says, "Don't go for the quantum leap. Go for the slight edge. These tiny little changes every day, doing innocuous things you think don't matter, but get so consistent at them that they compound into a huge growth one day." And that's exactly the principle I've used to create everything. And I do believe you can get the quantum leap because Jeff Olson then also says, he says, screw the quantum leap. But if you look at compounding interest, you always get the quantum leap. Now, the other part he illustrates is so powerful in this book, and this is what most business people do. They avoid the tension. They don't do the little tiny innocuous things that step into the tension. They do things to avoid the tension every day. Or they do little tiny innocuous things to compound down into a failure. Like with diet, it's like, this donut doesn't matter today. It's like, it's not going to one donut's not going to put much weight on me. And they're absolutely 100% right. But that donut compounds because it leads to another donut and another donut and another donut. And next thing you know, you're 50 pounds fatter, wondering what the hell happened to your life.
Tip number 1 from Brian is consistency is key. Now, what does Brian mean by this? What Brian means is that when you do consistent things that are in your life that are uplifting yourself, it's gonna feel like steps, right? You keep taking these steps, and then boom, you elevate yourself, and you get this massive thing of growth. Now, the reason why this is important is because everybody's consistent in life, right? But are you consistently doing the things that are going to improve you, or things that are going to degrade you? As Brian talks about in this podcast of mine, is diet, right? Somebody's on a diet and they continue to eat the right food, and then they're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna have one cupcake," or "Ooh, I'm gonna have one donut," or "Ooh, I'm gonna have one milkshake." And then what does that do? It starts to deteriorate them and make them feel bad about themselves when they had one moment of joy. And if you keep doing consistent right actions, it's going to give you that quantum leap, as Brian discusses, where people think is normally overnight success. As well as make sure he talks about to do little things that make you feel uncomfortable, that are going to improve yourself. Maybe if you're a little bit overweight and you go to the gym, you might feel uncomfortable and see people looking at you. But at the end of the day, are they ever going to help you? Or is losing that weight going to help you? Or maybe you want to get more talkative, be able to start up conversations with random people. That doesn't happen just out of nowhere. Go and have a really, really awkward conversation with somebody that you don't know. Approach them, compliment them on something, and then ask them about where they got that shoe or where they got their purse or something like that. It's those little consistent things that are going to help improve yourself. So consistency is key, but make sure you're being consistent in things that are going to improve yourself.
Number 2 is have a daily or a morning ritual, a daily ritual where you actually get yourself centered. Okay. Where you actually get your body focused and relaxed. You're not stressed. You're not worried about the day. That is huge too, because a lot of people just get up and start rushing. And if you want to get all the reactiveness out of your body, you don't want to be rushing through anything. You want to take your time. You don't want to do 50 things in a day. You want to take your time and do a few things well. Don't try to do everything at once. Do a few things so well that they become and eventually become automatic and systematized, and then add another thing. Yeah. Everyone wants to do everything at once. Don't do everything at once. If you're a seminar company, get your seminars solid before you build a bunch of online platforms. Mm-hmm. Or if you're an online platform, build online platforms and then start adding seminars. If you're if you're right now, you're all focused on writing books, write a few good books, get them out there, and then build maybe another business off those books. But what everybody does is, I'm going to do it all at once. And then they get scattered and they lost. So, and they lost.
Tip number 2 from Brian is make sure you have a morning or a daily ritual to get yourself centered. Now, the reason why this is important is because as humans, when we wake up in the morning, if we have 50 goals on our minds, we will be so overwhelmed that we won't get any of them done. And I'm speaking from experience, all right? So write down 3 things in the morning that if you accomplish 1, 2, and 3, it would make your day feel accomplished, right? These 3 things that are really important to you, and focus on only those 3 things and make sure you get those 3 things done. And once you do that, you will feel accomplished and you will feel amazing that day, right? And then as you consistently do these and these become systematized to your day, this will allow you to start adding something else to the list and keep adding until you're able to do those 50 things in a day. But make sure you focus on at least 3 things so that you're able to get them done rather than focusing on 50 and getting nothing done.
There's one other principle that I love to talk about. I don't hear many people say, but let's say you want to be a millionaire. Globally, how many people make over $1 million globally? Not in the United States globally, but in the United States it's going to be a higher number. But globally, it's 0.7% of the world makes over $1 million. Okay, so that means that globally, 99.3% of the world does not know what they're talking about when it comes to making over $1 million. Yet, we will go out there, get a great idea, and ask everybody we know what they think, and people will listen to. And the worst part is if we don't even ask them, we go out to start a business, everybody will be telling us, don't do this, don't do that. And we start to get worried. We start to think, believe them. We take what they're saying is we let it in like it means something. And 99.3% of the people are doing it all wrong, or they'd be millionaires in that area. Or they'd be millionaires. And so that means you should only be listening to 0.7% of the population. That also means that if you listen to only 0.7% of the population, the bulk of the world is going to tell you you're crazy. And that's a good indicator you're probably going in the right direction.
Tip number 3 from Brian is be okay with people calling you crazy. Now, the reason why this is so important is because 99.3% of people, like Brian said, are going to call you crazy. If you're trying to become a millionaire, if you're trying to do something that is unimaginable to the regular human mind, people are going to call you insane. But why would you listen to people that are calling you insane? Because they've never done it. The people that you need to go and listen to are the people that have done it. The person that not says that they're a millionaire or says I can be a millionaire. The person that is a millionaire. The person that has already gone through it. Listen to their advice and the things that they're telling you to do, because if a broke person is telling you to put your money in the bank account, but the rich person is saying, here, this is where you need to invest, who got there? Let's recap what you guys learned in this video. So starting off with number 1, consistency is key. Make sure you're taking consistent actions daily that are helping you become the person that you want to become. Number 2, make sure you have a daily or morning ritual or habit that helps de-stress you. This is key. Remember 3 goals. Write down 3 goals each day that you want to accomplish and would make you feel like you accomplished the day. Because as soon as you become overwhelmed, you do nothing. And number 3 is be okay with people calling you crazy. Get that through your head, alright? Because 99.3% of the people will never do or have never done what you want to do. So they might call you crazy for doing something because they don't understand, because they don't have the same goals or want to go to the same place as you. So listen to people that have already done what you want to do. So if you guys enjoyed this, please click the subscribe button down below. Click that thumbs up button. And in the description down below, there will be a link to my podcast, Devontae Talks with Success. It would mean the absolute world if you subscribe to that, if you want to listen to more people that are successful and dominating in their industry and get the rest of what me and Brian talked about. So I hope you have a fantastic day and stay in tune for more videos.